Hello and welcome as we go live to chat about connecting with your Polish culture through baking. We are joined by Polaron's director, Eva Hussein, and Magda Grkow from Polish Treats. As always, remember to subscribe to our Facebook page where we upload videos about Polish topics weekly. Over to you, Eva.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. As we're waiting for people to arrive, I wanted to share my excitement with you of speaking to Magda. I've not met her in person. I've not tasted her cakes because that's what she does. But nevertheless, I'm very excited to welcome her this morning because baking is her passion. So before we came online, we were talking about where she got her inspiration from and what she does to make her cakes really, really special. Apparently, let me in on a secret. She cooks better than her mom, which is quite an accomplishment. But Magda, welcome to you this morning. How are you?
Oh, thank you very much, Eva, and hi everyone, and great to see you and be able to speak to you, Eva, and just share my knowledge a little bit.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you are based in Melbourne, and by profession you are a dentist, and you've worked for pharmaceutical companies in like a corporate world. What actually inspired you to move into baking as a job? I guess it's what it is, right?
Oh, I just always love baking, and as I mentioned before, I love food, so it was always my dream to open coffee place. And step by step, I was, coming closer to this idea. And I did a couple of courses. I work in some coffee places, and I find that it'd be a really good idea to, when I did marketing course, to introduce my product to customers. And I thought also maybe I can just join market and just started to sell my cake and see if I really find people who will love it. And this is where it started and it finished really because I decided that running market and running page is absolutely enough for me and satisfying me. And now I don't plan to open coffee place. I just still baking my product and selling them on the market, or I run my website and my page. I share my recipe with people as well. So yeah, it was how it just slowly came. Yeah.
And I think that's amazing and very special. And I tell you why, I think there's something about markets and sort of putting love into your food. So the minute you start making it big scale, I feel that maybe some of that organic love that you put into your baking is lost a little. So I think that's really special that you do that. But what makes your cake special? So we talked about you being better than your mum, in many different ways.
I hope she doesn't listen to it.
No, we won't tell her, don't worry. But what is it that makes your cake special? What, apart from love, what else do you put in it?
Yeah, to be honest, I try to make it according to my family recipes, and I also make my own recipe. I try to make them even better. So I don't make mass production, and I think this is the answer. You asked me if I try to go further and make it in bigger scale. And one reason why I don't want to do it, because I definitely making it bigger and started to hire people, you will definitely, when with quality down,
Personal touch.
No question, because making it on big scale, it never will be the same. And I can imagine really just make product in different ways. I put a lot of butter, I put sugar, I try to really find good quality products. So I do shopping like I do for myself, and I really bake like I bake for myself, for my family. And I think this is the reason why people love it. I've never really had any unsuccess. I always was very successful, and it's growing amazingly, really. So I definitely would be able to go to next stage and make like bigger production, but I really don't want to. This is one of reason why I want to keep it for like small amount of people who will appreciate it and will appreciate it because it is make according to traditional recipes.
Right, right. And I think the other thing I would say about all that is that if you keep it small, you'll develop a fan base of people that will just rave about the cakes. And the question I have for you now, Magda, is can you replicate your recipe? So each one of your cakes different? Because this is what I struggle with. When I cook, I don't use recipes, and you know, every time I make something, it's a little bit different. Is that the case for you too, or not?
To be honest, in this case, when you cooked but not cake, because like, and another reason, because I'm making for sale, so I have to really write down adopted recipes for, you know, for the market in some way. And I have special book for market when I write down amount of ingredients, what I'm doing, so it is very consistent this way. But of course, it is always like I can add a little bit, like I make chocolate meringues. I always add a little bit like more chocolate, or I add some almonds. Then I make seasonal cakes. I always love to make seasonal cakes. I always introduce new recipes. But no, with cake, it's very important to follow recipe in some way. Yeah, especially with cakes. It's like pastry. You have to, you know, in
Be
many ways,
consistent.
be
Yeah,
consistent. Yeah.
And Magda, I know a little bit about your background. I know that you come from Częstochowa, that you immigrated out of Poland about 23 years ago. You went to England, then New Zealand, and Australia. But how does food connect people to their heritage? Do you ever have people that are actually Polish, you know, second, third generation, that tell you, "Oh my God, this just it tastes like what my grandmother used to make"? Is there like does your stomach connect to your head with your cakes? Is that how it works?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just I have a lot of customers who tell me, "Oh, it tastes like my mom made." Like I make ginger cake, or apple pie, and poppy seed strudel, and many people. I have this is one of the beauty of my market, that so many people are so pleased. Like on last market, lady said that, you know, I don't know what we will do without you. So it is really such a big compliment. And I think, yeah, definitely it takes you back to your childhood in many ways. And even recently I started to make a tort. It's like a big birthday cake, like gâteau.
Oh, wow.
And my mom was famous of making them. I must say, this is one thing she make absolutely perfectly. And I was for a long time very feeling
Intimidated?
intimidated
Yeah.
to make them. And many people asked me before, and I wasn't brave enough, but I thought, oh no, I tried to do them, and I slowly just do these cakes. And the same when I make for my husband, he had birthday on Monday, and I made follow exactly my mom recipe. And it took me back to my childhood. I remember how we bake together, how we make this, like we quite often bake together with my brother, with my mom, because my mom has funny habit getting up very early in the morning and started to make faworki or pączki.
Oh, wow.
And when we get up, she was halfway through baking them. And even if we didn't want to, you had to be
had to have some.
Yeah. So this is something which I would love to be, you know, now, you know, part of this, you know, family baking together. So I think people have the same. So when they taste, they go back to, you know, the childhood and remember the heritage. Yeah, definitely.
And Magda, baking is a creative pursuit, right? Because yes, you might have a recipe, yes, you might have the ingredients, but you also need to put a lot of love and passion into it. And if it's a family tradition like the one you described, that's even better. Because you can't really fight over baking, right? Like everything has to be done just so, you know, the oven has to be at the right temperature, and whatever it is, it's like a system. So does it help you be creative? And your children, because I know that you have two children, you have a boy and a girl. Do they participate with you in this?
Oh yeah, they love, especially my son loves to cook. My daughter loves to prepare food, but she has a bit different style. It's like more healthy style and artistic. She's artist. She studied fine art, sculpture. So, you know, she likes to decorate things. Yeah, so she's artist, yeah. And yeah, you're right. You have to really just definitely is experience is very important, and trying food taste, but with knowledge and with maybe as you say, some kind of art, you know what will go together, and with decoration, you know, just like having different ideas probably too, but you have to be very creative to do different things. Like I noticed being on the market that it's not only that what cake tastes like, but also what it looks like. It
Okay.
catch people's eyes, and just like when you see and when you like something with your eyes, you will be more interested to try a product. So like we have in Poland, we have very famous rolls called jagodzianki, like blueberry rolls. I'm sure
Stop
that
it.
you know, you know them.
Oh,
And when you put blueberries inside, they look like any rolls really, and not many people will be attractive. So I decided I make them open, and I put a fruit on the top. So I make rolls, make little like dip in the middle, and I put blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, and I must say these rolls look so colorful that you can't just pass and not not get one and not bite. And they taste really nice because I make really nice soft dough, but at the same time they have to look really colorful, and yeah, definitely tempted.
Tempting, yes. And I know that you have quite a large social media following, of course, and you also have a wonderful website. And we were talking about showcasing your products, because it's not about just talking about it, but you do have to take photos and talk about food in a creative way. And I know that for you, it's a family pursuit, because your husband and your son have helped you do the website, but the photos and everything else you do, right?
Yeah, I do myself photos, and it does take time. So I always think about what I can post. It now is more difficult because, you know, I make generally similar kind of cakes, adding extra seasonal cakes. I always try to, you know, introduce something different. And I try to share some recipes with people, and I always try to post it once a week. So it is quite a big procedure, because you have to, when you're cooking, you have to take a lot of photos. And my family is making fun of me when before they can sit down and eat any food, you know, I always have to come and look at different angle at food, you know. So it's very important to have good light. So this is another thing that I would like to even maybe improve, do some photography course, and it would help me definitely. But it is really, it is a lot of work, putting things together and write down a recipe, think about it, what I can, you know, what I can share with my customers. And but it's good fun. I really like it, especially I can see, you know, it's more and more people following my Facebook page. And I have a lot of comments, and people really appreciated what I'm doing. So that's really great. And I would love to really, you know, moving forward, just to keep it going. And maybe in the future, when I have more time, make some video when showing like very basic skills, like how to make pierogi, how to make like yeast dough, because I have really great experience with yeast dough and bread. I have sessions how to make sourdough bread. And because I'm very successful with it as well, I bake my own bread all the time. So so this is another step I would like to do.
Yeah, well, we wish you really well. And I think you're a very inspirational and enterprising person. I think having a change of career sort of halfway through your life is never easy. And I think finding your fit and something that you're really passionate, and you're so clearly very, very passionate about baking, is just, I think many people will be jealous of you having that passion and finding something that you really love doing. Talk to me about markets, Magda, because I think certainly in Australia, I don't know about any other places, but I think it's also true that people have started thinking about going back to markets, going back to basics, going back to maybe not even so much organic food, but food made with love and grown with love. What sort of markets do you go to, and what happens when you get there? Does everybody just jump and you know, want to steal your cakes, or what happens?
So to be honest, in the past, I make really many markets, just local markets. Now, after lockdown, I reduced amount of markets. I have 2 markets at the moment. I'm in Surrey Hills. It will be the Saturday market in Surrey Hills. And another market I keep in Bayswater, it'll be 4th Saturday. And it's absolutely great atmosphere in the market. You're part of this community. So I know a lot of people now, and I'm always looking forward to go, there. So it's just they always coming and look at my cake, or just keep this part for me, this piece. And I added lemon cake, and in Surrey Hills, all these women just coming and oh, because we know that you sell very quickly, so we better
they
come
get
and
ahead of
get
the
them
queue.
now. Yeah, so it's really, and I have regular customers. I have really customers. I make, like friendship with them. I know them, and I see them once a month, and they even order from me. When I have lockdown, they contact me and they ask if they can come and get some cakes from my place. So it's absolutely fantastic, really.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And Magda, what's your best recipe? Like, what's the best cake you make? As in, from your own perspective, but maybe also from the perspective of the people that buy it.
Right. To be honest, I like very light cakes, like apple pies and anything made with yeast. So this is my favorite cake. But my customers love the honey cake. Honey cake is absolutely number one. Yeah, and it is really great cake because it's not sweet. And they have this lovely layers with caramelized walnuts, and I can see, I understand why people love it, because it is very good cake. Another number two is pleśniak, which is very different.
What is that?
This is shortcake, but I grated layers, so it's much lighter than normal roll cake. And it's layers of vanilla flavor, then it's with chocolate. I use Dutch cocoa. So another things, I use really good ingredients, from like, I buy them in small delis. And it's a little bit berry fruit jam, meringues, and on the top is this shortcake. So it's really melted in mouth and looks so different too. So many people ask me what cake it is.
What is that?
We never had it. And I especially keep a Polish name, pleśniak, because it sounds even more attractive for
it
many
sounds
people.
exotic, right?
Yeah, so it sounds very exotic. Yeah. So with this year now, it's very crescents are very popular. I'm making the past donuts, Polish donuts. But I make them very rich. So I had to charge a little bit more, to having, to compromise my ingredients. And it's a lot of work. So I stopped making donuts, unfortunately. But I make different things. Maybe in winter time I make them again, because I have a couple of markets where they're very, very popular and they were selling very fast. And so maybe I will be back to make donuts in some stage.
We'll definitely keep an eye on it. Magda, I wanted to change gears just a little bit and talk about your hometown, which is Częstochowa. Most people would know where that town is and what it's famous for, but maybe some people don't. So could you tell us a bit more about Częstochowa? Where is it, and what is it that's special about it?
Yeah, Częstochowa is not such a small city. It's probably 250,000 people lives there, and it's in south of Poland. So it's quite close to Krakow. It's about 100 kilometers north from Krakow. And it's famous because it's pilgrim city. So we have beautiful, really very dominated monastery, which is on the hill. And we have this very famous, this monastery has very famous Black Madonna painting. And it's really massive. It's almost like this monastery is like city. So you could be lost in monastery. So it's not just one church, just a lot of chapels. And I probably don't appreciate it as much because I was brought up in the place, and I went so often every Sunday for mass with my parents. But it's really, really very impressive. And it's a beautiful city. We have lovely avenue with a lot of very good coffee places now and very good cakes. I always, whenever we go to Poland, to Częstochowa, especially my husband loved cakes there. And it's very vibrant city. It's a lot of concerts, there's a lot of things there around, and we have a lot of visitors too, because especially in the summer, you can see a lot of pilgrims coming to the city from different towns in the Poland. So like from Warsaw, and they walking from Warsaw, from Gdańsk for 2 weeks, coming to see this Black Madonna picture. So it's very important city for Polish people, definitely.
Yeah, and it's a very old city, and I think the picture.
This monastery is from 14th century. Yes, this I forgot to mention. So it's really very big. And it's a very old city. Yeah.
Right, and the picture that you painted in our minds now is of a vibrant, dynamic, and very beautiful town. And what I wanted to pick up on is that in some people's minds, Poland's black and white, or worse still, grey. But it's not like that at all, right? We're talking about a modern country, and I always say to people, look, don't believe everything you read in the media or social media. But it is, in terms of food, it's not just cabbage and sausages. And, baked products are just amazing. Like, whenever I go, I put on so much weight because all I want to eat is cakes there. And you said that there are cafes and, lots of food outlets in Poland. Have you forayed into vegan or vegetarian recipes at all?
I'm vegetarian myself. So that's quite funny enough. My husband been vegetarian since we married, really. I was for 4 years, but when I became pregnant, then I decided to eat meat. To be honest, I love Polish sausages too much.
Yes.
But then last 4 years, I watched some Polish movie, in fact, and it made me became vegetarian. Agnieszka Holland movie, I don't remember name, about hunting. And I don't know what was in this movie that I thought, no, I'm not putting my hands and I will be away from vegetarian. With cake, vegan cake, many people ask me, but Polish cakes are really based on eggs and butter. And it's really very hard. I make a couple of times for some customers a cake without sugar. I try to make, but vegan cake, I must say, I make for myself and for my daughter because she's really very much into healthy food. And we try to experiment with different, not using eggs and using substitutes or not using butter. But keeping Polish treat as a traditional Polish recipe, it will be very hard to do vegan.
Well, good luck with experimenting, because the reason I'm asking is that nowadays in Poland there are lots of vegetarian and vegan restaurants on every corner.
And they're beautiful. They're so nice. Every vegetarian restaurant is different. And whenever I go, I always go to vegetarian restaurant because they have such a selection of great food. And it will be really great if some owners of vegetarian restaurants or coffee places will go to Poland and see what you can make.
Yeah, they're very, very creative. And Magda, have you ever thought about, because I know you have a strong website and social media presence, but have you ever thought of creating a cookbook or bake book?
I would love to be honest, because I must say I have so many really unusual and different recipe. Like, poppy seed strudel is my recipe. Crescents, which I'm selling with sourdough jam, is my mom recipe, and they're not very common in Poland. People know them, and they really. I have to sit down, stay with my mom, and bake with her because she wouldn't be able to pass me recipe. So I'm lucky that I wrote it down, and now I have.
You can replicate it.
Yeah, and replicate it. So maybe one day, but I know that you have to find someone who will be interested first of all to
to publish it. Well, nowadays you can self-publish, I guess, and I think a lot of people have done it. We have a client so she's American, and in America they call babcia busia for some reason. So she's created this book of recipes of soups and sauces because she had so many. And she called it my Bush's recipes or something like that. So I think and she's self-publishing because it's her family story. But also, nowadays you can sell it on Amazon, whatever.
Maybe one day will be really good because my husband is very good with writing stories.
So there you go.
Help me to write down
I'd buy it.
Ideas, and I have so many different stories from my past with my family. I had really big family, and we spent Christmas together, and we baked things together. So definitely.
Sounds amazing.
Many times it go through my mind. It'll be really great for my kids, to have something which they can go bake. They're not interested in baking now, but maybe in some stage they like cook, And no, my son make favorki, you know, they had like
Okay.
cooking classes at school and everybody loved them. You know, they disappear almost immediately because yeah, my favorki are really very good as well. It's my mom recipe this time again. And so yeah, so definitely
Passed down generations.
maybe one day, yeah, will be really great. And especially I make now this birthday cake tart, and we very unique, very unique. I just absolutely we eating every day now piece this piece
Okay.
cake. And I was thinking, yeah, Polish people are very clever. They know how to really make balance in cake, and they not too sweet, not too rich, and absolutely melting in your mouth. So yeah, we definitely very talented bakers.
Magda, you're definitely making me hungry, but I shall ignore that because we have about 5 minutes for questions.
Yeah,
Over to you, Stephanie.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure hearing about all your treats. They sound delicious. So we've got a great question from Andrea. Thanks so much for asking it. She says, I've never cooked Polish sweets before, but I'd love to give it a try. Which sweet should she try baking first as a beginner?
As a beginner, it's quite maybe I'm just thinking Polish cakes are quite complex, but Polish apple pie will be really easy. You can go to my Facebook page, and I think not long time ago, I think months ago, you can go backwards, and I gave really nice recipe for apple pie, and it is always, you know, it's easy to make. And remember, just butter has to be cold, and you can start with apple pie. Definitely will be easy one.
That would be great. I'll add a link to that in the comments as well, so it's easy for everyone to find. What do you love most about running your business Polish Treats? It sounds like you have so many connections to everyone.
Sorry, can you repeat it? I didn't, what
do you love most about running your business?
Yeah. Probably contact with people, definitely feedback from my customers that, you know, that they never try cake like it, that it's like homemade product, because it is. Many people you take me back to my childhood. It's just really absolutely amazing. And I feel thrilled really when people telling me things like it, or sometimes like in the market, some Polish people coming, and it's like group, and we talking about our past, and it's not just selling, it's just being part of community really. So I'm bringing them on the plate cakes, and they coming to join me, and we just have chat and eating together. So I absolutely love this contact with my customers. This is probably the biggest reward for me. Yeah.
Amazing. And we just got a comment from Marta, who's one of our staff members, and she said, I miss my babcia Hela's cheesecake.
Oh, cheesecake.
Well, Marta, we hope that somebody in your family's kept the recipe. And if not, Magda, do you make cheesecake?
I don't make, I sometimes make cheesecake for market, because quark is very expensive. You can only use quark, and quark is absolutely beautiful here in Australia. It's very good quality quark, but it's very, very expensive. And I put a lot of eggs into my cheesecake. So just
they fluffy.
Really, they fluffy, very nice. So occasionally I make, to be honest, in fact, I make for this market, not cheesecake, but I plan to make rolls with cheese, with quark. And maybe another market I make a cheesecake for market. So I always announce, I always say what new cake is coming to the market, so people roughly know. I have regular cakes, but I always add one to different.
Something special.
And I make some tips for making good cheesecake for people. And maybe one day I'll share recipe with cheesecake, and maybe will be in my cookbook.
Okay, Marta, keep an eye on Magda's cookbook whenever that's coming.
Yeah. Or Facebook.
Facebook, that's another one.
And I will paste the recipe, one day.
And you do have a great website. So as we finishing the session, which has been really interesting, and thank you so much for sharing your lovely energy and story with us. I encourage people to have a look on your at your website and also your Facebook page. It's very vibrant as well. There's lots of stories, there's lots of photos, lots of inspiration.
And recipes as well.
And recipes, yes, so if you want to try. We're looking out for that cookbook. We're looking out for more exciting recipes, and we are going to come and visit you at one of the markets one of those days. So we just have to come really early in the morning, right? So that
Yeah.
it doesn't sell out.
Yeah. I always ask people if they really want some cake, because, you know, in the end, I have only some, you know, cakes left, not a lot. So I always ask my customers if they want me to keep, and they coming and it's just ready for them in the box. So yeah, definitely. And it's in Surrey Hills Market this weekend. So if someone would like to try, is more than welcome to come and join us. Yeah.
We'll put some information in our chat on Facebook. So if people want to, you know, those of us that are lucky to be in Melbourne, we know we're not really in lockdown. We're free to go, and markets have opened some time ago. So we encourage everybody to come and to go and visit Magda's stand. And in the meantime, thank you so much for this lovely session. It made us not only hungry, but inspired about baking. So thank you so very much. And we'll see you around, Magda. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
And thanks, Stephanie. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.